Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares, back to do another edition of About Last Nightmare. This is the segment I do with my very good friend Nick, the Last Shoegazer, where we do a two-part review. I handle part one, which is the facts and figures, and he handles part two, which is a general synopsis, our overall take on the film, and our rating. Now, this is a special one for me and Nick. About a week ago, we got a package in the mail from our very good friend Joe, TheHORRORman. If you're not subscribed to Joe, I will leave a link below. Definitely subscribe to him. He is a great YouTuber and a very good friend. Now, the movie that he sent both Nick and I is The Devil's Gift. Now, The Devil's Gift is a 1985 film. It was released here in 1985, and I do believe it went straight to video from what I could gather from my research. And it runs 90 minutes long. Now, The Devil's Gift is written and directed by Kenneth J. Burton. Now, the only other thing I could find on him was a film he did called Merlin's Shop of Mystical Wonders, which will kind of play into this part of the review a little bit, but I'll get to that in a little bit. Now, the actors are Bob Mendelsohn, who plays David Andrews, which is the dad. Vicky Saputo, who plays Susan. Now, if you read a synopsis on the IMDb, and it kind of leads it to believe that this is the kid's mom, I do not believe that that is correct. I believe it's just the dad's girlfriend. That's what I gathered from watching it. I guess it could be the mom, but it just didn't appear that way. They don't really get into it, but she doesn't seem like she lives there. And she's not around a whole lot. But anyway. This also stars Strawn Robertson as Michael Andrews. Now, I was very shocked when I was doing my research and I looked on IMDb. This got a 2.3, 2.4, and I was reading some of the reviews before I actually watched the film with Nick. And some of them are okay. Most of them said it was a complete turd. So I kind of was wondering what I was in for with this film. But Joe, knowing me so well, knows I love my killer toy movies, like Puppet Master and Magic, killer dolls, just killer toys in general. And I will say this movie did not disappoint. Now, Nick generally takes care of our overall take on the film, but I'm going to say that I love this film. This is a top 5 killer toy movie for me on the first watch. Definitely. Top 5. I absolutely loved it. Now, some interesting things about the film. Now, this originally started as a student film venture on behalf of San Francisco State. I thought that was pretty cool. And where Merlin's Shop of Mystical Wonders kind of comes into play was this is basically a retelling of that story, if I'm not mistaken, from what I could gather from my research. Also, this was shot on a horse ranch owned by the director's mom. And unfortunately, we will probably never get a better release of this film. Now, the reason that is because a lot of people think that this film plagiarizes The Monkey by a short story by Stephen King. So I'm sure if they tried to release it, it would probably get sued. So that's probably why we will never get a release of it. Now, this is available on YouTube. I watched, actually I did some research and looked for it, and you can watch it 2 different ways. but it's probably the same cut. It's like a VHS rip. So, of course, I made sure that it was in English because a lot of times they put it up in different languages, and that's the only way you can watch it. But this is a definite recommendation from me. And I just wanted to take the time to thank Joe so much for making this for me and Nick. We really, really enjoyed this movie, and this is going to be one that is going to be a proud addition to my collection that I'll be watching a lot over the years. There's no doubt about that. If you get a chance, definitely check it out. It is on YouTube. It is on a couple different YouTube channels, and it is basically the same cut that I have here. Definitely check it out. It is a fun movie. It's got all the 80s cheese that you can imagine, and it's actually acted fairly well. Most movies that you've never heard of tend to have really bad acting and bad effects. Not so with this film. I actually think that this is a complete waste, that this film is not seen by more people. A complete waste. So definitely check it out. Give it some love. And if you like what you see in here, hit that like button and subscribe. And don't forget to check out Nick, the Last Shoegazer, for About Last Nightmare, Part 2. And until next time, peace.